special editions. It's special, it's an edition, it's a special edition, it's a... Okay, so what is it exactly? A special edition is a print edition of your book that has extra features, special features. That could mean a whole variety of things. For example, additional content, better quality paper, special cover design, full color interior art, sprayed edges, a signed and numbered edition, any and all of the above, and more. In our recent interview with Betsy Wollheim, publisher at the legendary science fiction and fantasy house Doll Books, Betsy said that special editions have become so popular, they're sometimes outselling the regular hardcover edition. So, here on the Nink channel, we've decided to do a deep dive into special editions. I think you'll find a ton of information and inspiration in today's presentation by Elana Johnson, the best-selling author of dozens of novels. Elana has created many of her own special editions, and on today's show, she'll take us through many of the options and every step of the process. So, let's go.
While Novelists Inc., Nink, strives to provide accurate and helpful information, Nink does not assume any liability for or endorse any opinions, advice, instructions, products, errors, or omissions in the following video. Viewers are solely responsible for how they interpret and apply any Nink content.
Hi everyone, my name is Elana Johnson and I'm excited to be here with you today to talk about special editions, both paperbacks and hardcovers. We're going to cover a wide range of different types of special edition paperbacks or hardcovers that you can do, and hopefully you'll be able to find something that fits your budget and your personality and your backlist or your books and be able to go from there. First, let's go over a couple of things about me and a quick agenda of what we're going to do, and then I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of the different kinds of things that I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and dive into that first. Okay, so here we are. We're going to be talking about special edition books, and I am Elana Johnson. I'm a 4-time USA Today bestselling author under 3 pen names. Well, I really have 4 now, but I have written over 250 books across almost 2 decades, and I have a lot of experience turning those titles into various formats, including over a dozen special edition paperbacks or hardcovers. I've run a successful Kickstarter, and I love all things swag and exclusive bonuses that go with those special editions, because we always want to make our books look as pretty as possible. There's lots of different kinds of ways to do special editions, and I'm going to show you all of them. But there's printed edges, sprayed edges, foiled edges, dual edges, tabbed edges, hidden edges. I have dual edges on here twice because it's worth mentioning twice. You can do 2 edges in one book. You can do paperbacks, hardcovers, full color interior. You can do cover on your foil or no cover. No foil. You can do multiple foils and treatments. And if you do a hardcover, you can do custom end pages, and that is called a duplex in a paperback. And I haven't done any duplexes in my paperbacks, but I can show you where it is on one of the examples here in just a couple of minutes. So how do we do these pages and covers? It's pretty easy to do pages yourself in Vellum, and I have Canva Pro and I use that, and I can show you some of those. You can, of course, always hire a designer. There's also online tools to help you embed pages into your interior, and of course, you're going to want to test your printers. But first, let's look at some of the amazing things you can do with your special editions. Okay, so let's start simple. We're going to go ahead and start with your printed edges. This was the first ever special edition that I did. I would recommend that you get a new cover at the very least. So this was a pre-made cover that I had purchased 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was $110. I think pre-mades are perfect for special editions. Most of the special editions that I have are pre-made covers that I either purchased, because maybe it's just me. Maybe I just have bought a billion pre-made covers. I have, confession. But I have tons of them. And even now when I see one that I really like, I go ahead and purchase it and I make a special edition out of it. I'm doing one right now where I did that. And this is another one that I purchased. This is a special edition cover that was just a pre-made. I think it was $120. Went up in a pre-made group. I bought it and I turned it into a dual edge special edition where when you read the book this way, you get one edge, and when you read the book this way, you get another edge. These are printed edges. They are not sprayed, they are printed. So when you do a printed edge, when the book is on the shelf, the design is light. When you open the book and read it, the design darkens. The opposite is true for sprayed edge books. So let me show you one of my first sprayed edge books. This is from my Kickstarter. And this is a sprayed edge. When the book is sitting on the shelf, the edge is really dark. So can you see the difference? The edge is dark. I can still see the design on this one, but it's not dark. It's much lighter. The sprayed edge is going to be the dark, rich color on the shelf. When you open the book and read it, it gets lighter. So it's the opposite. So it depends on kind of what you want to do. I like starting with a printed edge design book because I can do it through Amazon's KDP print program. That's it. All you need is a paperback wrap. So, just like you make a regular paperback, and you need an interior file because when you open the book, you'll see that inside your interior, each page has this little bar-coded color thing that makes your design. It's on both sides, it's on the top, and it's on the bottom. You see this color? When printed in the bleed, so you need to make sure you choose no bleed. You don't want any bleed on your books because you're going to print inside the bleed. This design is printed inside the bleed. It is embedded in your interior file. You can pay someone to do your interior file, but Vellum has about less than a year ago, and I'm recording this in April 2026, Vellum last summer came out with the ability for us to put page backgrounds and borders in our own Vellum files when you're formatting your paperbacks or hardcovers. But it's easier with paperbacks because you don't have that hardcover that sticks out. And you can embed this design directly into your own Vellum files, generate your print PDF, upload it to KDP with your paperback wrap, and you have a special edition. I always recommend an ombre or a solid color on the top and the bottom. You can see that your design is going to bleed over here and here. You're going to have these little hash marks, these little barcodes. That's totally normal because that's the design picking up here at the top of the page. So you're going to have that. And so I always recommend this, a solid color or an ombre color on your printed books. This book was my first one. I sold almost 1,000 of these from my own website, shipping out of this book office where you see me sitting with some swag that I had come up with before I moved to a printed edge and ordered from overseas. The thing that's really nice about these printed edge books is that you don't have to order in bulk. You can run it from your kitchen table. You can order, I would actually recommend not ordering more than 20 or 30 at a time. I've tried to order more than that and they come, bent. They come with the color off. They come with lots of streaks. And so I have found that if I order 20, 25, or 30, that I can get some really decent ones. This is a printed edge book. It's 2 books in one. It's called Christmas Cowboy Beginnings. It's 2 Christmas romances. So when you're reading the first book, I wanted you to have this edge, which goes with the book. There's a tree decorating ceremony inside. And as you are reading and you're getting more and more and more into the book, to the second book, you can see this second design starting to take shape over here. So first book, second book. And these are also embedded directly onto the pages. So you can see the bar across the top. And if I turn it enough, you can see that they just look like barcodes. Okay, so it just looks like a barcode on the edges of the book. And when you splay it, this one's pretty easy to see now, it makes the picture because every little piece connects to the overall picture and makes that overall picture as someone is reading. So I like these books because I can tell people it's an amazing experience on your shelf. Now this is a dual edge, so it doesn't look super pretty on the shelf, but it's an experience when you read, right? The single edge books do look really pretty on the shelf. This is a black and white. So the two I just showed you are color. This is black and white. If you don't want to pay for color, and if you're going to use KDP, I recommend just standard color. You don't need premium. Those are just standard color interiors. If you're going to do a color edge, do a full color interior as well. It's no harm, no foul. It doesn't cost more for color on every page. These are black and white. These literally cost the same as a regular paperback. Like this one's $4, I think. And so this is a whole set. So this is a 6-book rom-com set of mine that I did. So all of the books here, regular covers. I did not do new covers on these. So you don't even have to do a new cover. I do recommend it, but you don't have to because that can be an additional cost. I made all of these myself in Canva. I have Canva Pro, so I'm able to use things that I can print. And I just did these myself. You'll notice there's nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. Once again, because I'm going to have those hash marks or those little marks, you can see them especially on this one right here, top and bottom. Okay, but when I call these my paw print iconic edges, and I sell the whole set together, 6 books, for over $100. So, and these 6 books cost me less than $30 because I'm just getting author copies printed from KDP with these edges on the inside. So you can do whatever you want. Again, when you splay it, it gets darker. And again, on the inside, you're going to see these hash marks. It's a little easier to see. Can you see this back one back here? When you open the book, you can see every page has a little bit of black on it because that's what makes the design. So those are several edges that I've done. I've also done a continuous edge printed. So this was a design. I paid for this. I did not do this myself. And this is book 1 through 4 in a complete series. And the edge is continuous across the whole thing. So book 1 looks like this, and book 2 looks like this. Every edge is a piece of the overall picture. That's called a continuous edge. You may have seen that in some other special editions. These are forced printed edges, continuous edge, full series paperbacks that I also did new covers on. So I did do new covers on those. You can go as simple as a solid color. So my husband is also a graphic designer and a wedding photographer, and he made me this cover. So this cover was made in-house, so free for me. But again, if you have a pre-made cover or something that you see that you really like, all I did was put red on the top, bottom, and edges. And now I have a Christmas special edition. And can you see the red on all the edges? That's it. That's it. That's what this book is. This no foil. These are force printed edges. I buy mine from Amazon based on 4 criteria, which I will go over here in just a minute again. But these are 3 of the same books, same files, same everything. This one is from Amazon KDP. This one is from Lulu Press. Lulu says they don't do these, but I thought I'm going to see if they do. They don't. So this was last year. So things change all the time. So, from 2025 to 2026, or if you're watching this in 2027 or 2028, welcome from the past. But this was pixelated. It was not good. They say they don't print in the bleed, and they don't say that they will do books like this, but I wanted to give it a try anyway and just see. So I did that. This one is from Book Vault. Sorry, this one is from Ingram. So you can probably tell here the color difference, saturation difference, and size of the book. This Ingram book is thicker because their paper is thicker. And I also ordered one from Book Vault. In the US, you can print in Book Vault US without foil, just a regular paperback. And I am judging my paperbacks on 4 things because I have to pay for them up front, and then I have to create a cost where I can make a profit. So I was pricing out all 4 of them and seeing which was the best value based on quality. So color saturation, quality of paper, quality of printing. So quality of the book, price of the book, how much does the book cost to print and ship to me per copy? Shipping speed, how fast can the book get here from the time I order it? Amazon is 18 to 23 days to my house where I live. Now you might live closer to a distribution center or a printing center and get it quicker. BookVault and Ingram were comparable in terms of shipping speed. So is Lulu. They're all about 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes a couple of days longer. So you kind of have to take that into account. When you have inventory that you're selling, you need to have the inventory sitting somewhere. So you can see right over here, I have a bookcase and all of these black and white printed books, I've ordered those from Amazon so that when someone purchases a set, I can sell and ship the set out immediately. When you order from overseas in large quantities, your inventory is not a problem. So with printed edge books, your inventory is something that you need to be thinking about probably every couple of days, depending on how much you're selling. So let's go ahead and look at some of the other things that you can do with your special editions. And we'll go over that 4th item that it's weight. I'm like, I always forget what it is. I'm mailing these from my home to purchasers. Postage costs money based on weight. So I wanted the lightest book, the cheapest book to print, the book that would get here the fastest, and the book with the best quality. And it was hands down and always has been Amazon KDP for me. So I print mine from Amazon, get them shipped to my house, sign them, put in my swag package, and ship them out. And I tested it across those 4 specifically: BookVault, Lulu, Ingram, and KDP. But you can, things might be different for you based on where you live, and different things like that. But let's go ahead and go back over to our slideshow and see some other tips and tricks and options for your special editions. Okay, let's talk about the pages, because you're going to need some pages of some kind. If you're going to do a printed edge page, a forced printed edge is what we call it, you're going to need to either design those or hire those out to be designed. I have used Jen at Painted Wings Publishing. It's just paintedwingspublishing.com for almost all of my forced printed edges. The black and white ones I did myself inside Canva, but anything that is colored besides a solid color, that Colton that was a solid color, I did that myself as well. And you can just pull the templates right out of Vellum. And so the second bullet point there says you embed them in Vellum. And you get what you need and you embed it in Vellum. But Jen at Painted Wings Publishing does custom designs as well as pre-made edges all the way to full service interior design. Her website is extensive, and I learned a lot of what I know about forced printed edges from Jen at Painted Wings Publishing. So definitely go check out her website. Her prices are extremely reasonable. You can also design your own, but you still need to be able to get them into the format where you can put them inside your interior. So printededges.com is the one that I have used quite a bit, actually. I did all of my rom-coms with printededges.com. Again, anything black and white, the red edges, all of that. Those go through Printed Edges, and they give you the PDF because every page has a little bit different, barcode strip that goes on there, and they give you that, and you put it right in your Vellum file, and then you just generate it, because all you need is your cover, paperback wrap, and your interior in order to do these. There's another one called styledbookedges.com. I have not used that one, but I wanted to give it to you as a resource. Let's move on to covers. So I maybe am the only one who has stockpiled dozens of pre-made covers, maybe. I went through those and I was like, this can be a great special edition cover. I've already paid for it. I mean, it is money, but I've already paid for it. And most pre-mades are quite inexpensive. They're on the cheaper side. So shop pre-made sales, look through those cover groups. When you see something that you really love, or it doesn't even have to be something that you really love. If it fits your genre and it's different than what you have and you can get it for pretty cheap, it's a great place to get a special edition cover. Of course, you can also do custom covers with a designer of your choice. I work with lots of designers, probably over a dozen, 15 at this point. And when you're doing foil, you're going to need a separate foil layer. And so I'll show you that when we get to some examples in just a minute. But let's talk about printers. If you want to, I showed you previously the differences between Amazon, Lulu, and Ingram Spark. Those all do printed edges with no foil. They're not sprayed edges. They're forced printed edges, no foil. Amazon and KDP, Lulu, Book Vault in the US will do that. So those of us in the US who don't want to do overseas printing and shipping, you can use Book Vault for your forced printed edges. You just can't put foil on the cover. Ingram Spark does the same thing. 48 Hours is also a US-based company, and they have some limitations. I believe they're only doing printed and sprayed edges on hardcovers right now. And again, I'm recording this in April of 2026. I'm not sure. It's worth looking through their stuff if you have something that you might want to do with 48 Hours. They do a lot of really cool stuff over there. They can do duplexes and end pages and all of that. But I think that their edges might be only for certain formats. Books Factory is out of Europe, and I'm going to show you some of those samples that I got. I worked with them, and these have no minimum orders, which is really nice. Once you get to the overseas printer, the most well-known one is CC. There are others, but CC Printing is the most well-known one, and I have printed with CC, and I have printed with a second overseas company as well. And when you get to those options, they have minimum orders that you have to put in. So the least that I've ever heard of with the two that I've worked with is 250, and your best price point is going to be at 1,000 copies, which means you're going to have to store 1,000 copies somewhere at your house or your warehouse or an office space or your garage or something like that. But there's lots of options for printing, and lots of them do different things. You always want to be checking for the cost of things. So I like to put together what I call a book package. The printing and shipping to me is part of the cost. Any swag, bookmarks is part of the cost. And then how I'm going to ship it is part of the cost. Because most of us are going to distribute from our own websites, which means we're going to ship from our own homes, warehouse, or office space. So I operate out of my daughter's bedroom, her old bedroom. She's married now, doesn't live at home, and I operate from there. You can upload these to like a POD partner like Lulu, Book Vault, or even Amazon. You can do a digital signature on your signature page, which means the signature will print when the book prints, and they can order from there. So they can order from Amazon. All of my special editions are on Amazon, but they're cheaper through me. I hand sign them, and you get swag through me. I've seen some authors sign book plates or swag packages. I do that because I only sell mine from my website in the US. So if somebody from Australia or somewhere else wants them, I have them buy through Amazon, and then I ship them a package through the mail. So let's move on to some tips. Always, always, always take the time to get a proof. I'm going to show you a couple of my proofs here in a minute. You want to give yourself plenty of lead time, because Amazon was the fastest in terms of speed giving me the books, but it still took 18 to 21 days to get that stuff to me. You want to be able to test the printers. Here it is for cost, quality, speed, and weight. And if you can, it's a good idea to get 2 to 3 items of exclusive swag to match. But I love swag and bookmarks and custom things because I like to be able to use those words in my advertising. Custom, exclusive, limited time, matches the book. And I count all of these things into my book package. And I personally charge 3 times my book package. So if everything, the printing of the book, shipping of the book, swag, and packaging materials is $10, that book is going to cost $30 for my reader or customer, because then that way I get to keep a third of the profit. The book package costs a third, and I can use a third for ads. And that is just at a bare minimum for me personally. It could be more. I could be like, well, my book package is $12, but this is 3 books in one or 5 books in one. I'm going to charge $50. So that's not like it's only 3 times as much, but that's just what I do. And I always want to give myself time to get those things. Optional extras, matching mailers or boxes, thank you cards with digital signatures, inserts like a vellum insert, recipe cards or coloring pages. I'm going to show you some of my cards, my swag packages, and a whole bunch of my sprayed edge books. So let's go ahead and move on to that right now. Okay, let's take a look at some of the special editions that I've got with sprayed edges from overseas, different things. I'm going to show you my custom swag packages, and then I'm going to turn you loose to go ahead and make your own special edition. So these are just a couple of samples that I got from Books Factory. They did not send any with foil on them. So you can see, I wanted to pull these out to show you this is the type of file that you submit that has no foil. And then when you get the book printed, you go ahead and you turn in a separate file that has the foiling on it. So you can see this is the background file, and then I have an extra file that has foil on it. So again, anything that I'm going to foil is going to be on a separate layer, and you can kind of see how that looks. So I ordered these as samples. This is another one. This is a little bit different design. I decided to go with bigger stars, but you can still see the different things. And I actually had these printed at Book Vault. I didn't go with Books Factory. I went with Book Vault. So you can, but I just wanted to show you that you can see like where the foil is going to be going on different things. And this one is completely foiled on the back. And so you can just kind of tell that you can do whatever you want on these different things. So get some samples. I ended up not going with Books Factory, not because they're bad, but I did not like the saturation of their skin. It's very orange on this, and I didn't like it. And so I was like, that's a little too saturated for me. This is a hardcover that I purchased from overseas. It has a dust jacket with pink foiling on the front, back, and spine. And on the interior, when you do hardcovers, you have an additional step you have to do, which is the actual hardcover. You get to choose a color, you get to do a design, front and back, holographic. These are sprayed edges, and it has full color duplex sorry, it's not a duplex, these are end pages, on the interior. And of course, the interior is also full color simply because it doesn't add that much cost when you're already doing edges, sprayed edges, and sprayed edges do not have that cross hatching across the top and bottom because they're sprayed on individually. So that's Getaway Bay. This is my Christmas Lodge hardcover. Again, it's a sprayed edge. It's dark when it's on the shelf. It's lighter when you open it. It's got red glitter foil. Can you kind of see how that catches the light and is glittery? Again, top, bottom, back. This has no duplex. If it had a duplex, it would have a printed picture right here on the back of the front cover. That's what a duplex is. I sign all of my books, usually with some sort of fancy marker. This is a metallic silver, and I include a swag package. This book is full color as well and includes 4 books. This is a monster, 600 pages, 6x9. Here's the relation trip redone with foil on the front and a new edge, which is sprayed, not printed. It also has a new interior. I did a redo on the interior. Just different full color title pages. When you do special editions, you want to include, I call this a signature page. This is not a title page. There is a place for me to sign it, and I am leaving that place intentionally so that I have a place to sign the book. And then full color chapter headings and everything throughout the book. But it's very similar to this printed one. I didn't do a new cover, but it has foil now and a different edge. And then I wanted to show you my dual I'm calling this a double. It's got pink foil on the front. You flip the book and it has 2 front covers. So you can see when I flip it, they're right side up. The spine has 2 titles. This is a spot UV treatment. So again, this is one book with lots of treatments on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it has a foiled edge. It's sort of a whitish, silverish foil edge that is kind of holographic in the right light. There you can kind of see some rainbow move through it. And it has printed edges on the inside that are revealed through the foil when you open the book and read it. These edges also extend the cover. Jen at Painted Wigs Publishing did these edges. They extend the cover. So again, that's just something special. I mean, you can have a design on your pages, but do they extend the cover? Mine do, right? So it's not a one-upmanship. It's just something different. This is a different edge that extends the cover that is hidden behind the foil. Okay, so the foil covers it up, and then we have a printed edge on the inside. So yes, these are printed on the inside just like the other ones that I was showing you earlier because they're printed edge books. And the foil treatment is on the outer side. It's sprayed on. So this is a printed edge and sprayed edge book with foil sprayed. It's sprayed foil, not sprayed ink. So it's a little bit different. And I did have Jen format this because we have to have some parts of the book upside down with the pages upside down. And we have to have some parts of the book right side up with the design right side up. I could not figure out how to do this myself. So I was like, I need some help. Because you can see this one's upside down. And so on half the pages, it needs to be upside down one way, but then right side, it's very confusing. Jen figured it out. Jen knew how to do it. So that was no problem, and she did that. I have little baskets over here that I have curated my swag into. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things. If I do a regular non-foiled book, I usually, not always, do a foiled bookmark. So this is a red foiled bookmark that matches the special edition. Okay? And don't be afraid to try to get more sales on the back. Get more special editions. Go buy more things from my website with my QR code. Okay, when I first did my Relation Trip special edition with the edges, I did a silver foiled bookmark that matched it. I was not smart in the beginning. I didn't put anything on the back. For Rhett, it was a Kickstarter, and so was Mechanics. These are also foiled bookmarks. This is gold foiled. This is blue foiled. It's the same concept. You submit a background and you submit the foiled part. There's a couple places you can do foiled bookmarks. I use Print Place, but I know there's another one, UP Printing, I think. And then I have a generic one that I take to cons that I might even, I ordered like 5,000 of these. And I might even send 200 off to a signing I'm not even attending, where they can get special editions, paperbacks, hardcovers, foil, printed edges, custom swag. My books are clean and swing, just kissing, no swears. Go here to order and see all of my special editions and books. So I send these out even to signings and other events that I'm not going to because they often are looking for swag to put in bags. I take these to things as well. And then if I'm doing a whole series, I don't always package them this way. I would always package, my bookmark, my extra swag that goes with in the book. Sometimes I just slide this in the front of the book. But I made a custom thank you card and I put my digital signature on it. So I signed a piece of paper and took a picture of it, put it on there. And then again, it's like, go get some more of my books. And I will take this and slide it into one of these just clear plastic things. If someone's ordering a whole series from me, the whole cowboy series I showed you with the continuous edge, the whole rom-com series with all those paw prints and iconic edges. And I will make this little package that has their thank you card and all of their swag in it. And I slide that in the box because it goes with 6 books instead of 1 book. And I don't want it to get lost on the little pieces. So I can make a little package like this. These little plastic sleeves are on Amazon for like pennies each. So again, I just make sure that I keep track of what it's costing me to make things like this and to have different packages and to have all kinds of different swag that goes with each book that they buy. So this would be a swag package that they would get if they bought my Dual Edge book, okay? But they get these stickers if they buy the Christmas Lodge. So again, a matching bookmark, All I Want for Christmas Is You, in my cowboy romance era, and I have branding, Western feel-good fiction, that goes in for that. The relation trip gets a bookmark, just this is not a foiled one. Rom-com era, they get a branded book sticker, they get a tiki hut, which matches the cover, and they get their flamingos. Okay, so they get 5 pieces of swag with the relation trip. I have them all set out in my baskets so that it is very easy for me to grab my swag and put it in my books ready to go. I have matching bookmarks for Getaway Bay. That's the same design as on the edges. This matches. I have one that's generic that says beach vibes. I have one that's generic that says meet me at the beach. And I have my own beach feel-good fiction branding. So I'm always trying to get my branding out there, matching swag. Everybody needs a bookmark with my name on it, right? QR code to buy more books. I have this kind of stuff for everything that I do. So let's see, I've shown you that one. This is for my rom-coms. This is for Welcome to the Cowboy Family. On the other side are those 4 special editions with the continuous edges. This is for the Beach Read Double. They get 2 bookmarks for the Beach Read Double. And on the back, it has all the other books in the list, reading list, and they can color this. So I call these colorable bookmarks. I have one for the Beach Club, which is not even a special edition, but I'm selling a lot of these right now. The only place you can get them is from me. I've never put it's 3 books, so it's 3 series starters. You get these 3 books. It doesn't have edges. It doesn't have color. It's just a paperback. But it's 3 books that starts a series. I have a matching bookmark, and I send them some beach stickers. And I'm selling these because you can't get them anywhere but from me. So that alone can be something that you can do to get people to come buy from you, is that you have a product that they can't get anywhere else. And it's awesome and it's cute and they want it. And I could put a colored edge on this. It would just increase the cost. As soon as you move from black and white, even to just a single color edge like this, you have to pay for color. So then you have to go, how much is that color print? And what would I need to price my book at to make a profit? So those are just some ideas for special editions, some examples of printed special editions, dual edges, continuous edges, sprayed edges, duplexes, foils, spot UV, foil on the edge. And I hope I've given you some good resources as well for how you can make your own, and you can start simple, maybe with a pre-made you already have on your computer. In Canva, if you feel like you're decently able to make a design. I mean, my one is just cat paw prints up the front. It's not, rocket science, and it doesn't take a lot of time. And then you can decide what you need to price it at, where you're going to sell it, and if print distribution is right from your home. Now, I thought I would hate it, and I just want to say right here at the end that I don't. I actually find it really fun to look at my books and sign them and make swag for them and package them up and ship them out to someone else that I hope is really going to love them too. Thank you for joining me on this special NINC webinar on special editions, and I hope you go make an amazing product for a book you've already written and start selling it.
Elana, thank you. That was so interesting and fun too. Folks, if you'd like to check out Elana's books or purchase any of her special editions, we've put a link to her website in the description box below. And here on the NINC channel, we'll be back soon with another video about the craft and business of writing professionally. Until then, happy writing.